We're up in the Pacific Northwest right now, and one of the emails that I've been getting lately is telling me something that I know is a misunderstanding. People are writing in and they're saying, we're putting TankTechsRx in our tank and our sensors are not going out unless we rinse the tank out, and then they go out. And their thinking is that maybe something in TankTechsRx is causing the sensors to stay on, when actually they've been following the instructions correctly by not emptying the tank 100%. So I'd like to explain to you what's really going on in that tank and how to fix it. Now, I'm basing this on cleaning 13,000 tanks, and I've seen a lot of things happen, and this is what's usually happening. The sensor's in a tank, and I have a tank sensor cut out right here. This is where the wires are hooked on here. On the inside, on most of the tanks, is some kind of a stainless steel stud or screw. In this case, it happens to be a screw. But what happens in every tank out there is struvite builds up, and we have some examples of struvite here. And struvite could be paper thin like this, or it could get as thick as 3/4 of an inch. I had a lady in Minnesota the other day call me, and she said that she had to replace her valves because the struvite was 3/4 of an inch thick. And I said, well, replace the valves, put the TankTechsRx in, leave it soak for a couple of weeks, and then open it up. She called me and said, when I open it up, it's like a cement mixer with all the struvites pouring out. So we know that what's really happening here is the struvite is covering the inside of this tank. And what happens if you're using, if this is the bottom of the tank, if you're using TankTechsRx to start with, the bottom sensor is usually covered anyway if you didn't empty it 100% according to the instructions. Then the struvite is covering this entire wall, and the water wicks up and turns the sensors on. That's the reason when you drain it down 100% and let all the water out, the water drains down because the struvite is not a conductor, it's hard, but the water in it is the conductor, and it turns all your lights back on. If you're using the TankTechs properly, your 1/3 light will stay on, and if your tanks are dirty with struvite, which 99% of them are, it's going to keep the lights on. You thought it was clean because before you emptied it completely, the lights went out. But if you'll remember, the moment you start using your tank before, the lights would come back on. I know that that's normally the problem, because when I clean the tank with a 3000 psi jetter, we never have had that experience. It's only when we don't clean the tank. So the solution to the problem of my sensors lights are not going out is, first of all, don't worry about it initially, because it's not going to go out until we clean this off. And how long will it take to clean the struvite out? Well, is it this thick or is it this thick? The thicker it is, the longer it's going to take it. But what happens fairly quickly is it begins to separate off the wall, and you can see how smooth that is on the back. It'll drop off the wall, and if you're moving around, you're going to come into your unit at some point and say, it's working again. And once we get it corrected, we'll keep it corrected. But no, TankTechsRx cannot make your sensors misread. It can just reveal that they're already dirty. I hope that helps. If it doesn't, email us and I'll answer your questions personally if I can. Thank you.